What's going on, first grade? Mr. Hunter here with your community helpers assignment today. We're going to be turning to page 45. We're going to be talking about somebody very important. There's leaders, there's parents that you have in your house that make the rules for your house. When you go to your church, the pastor makes the rules for the church. You know what? There's also somebody that's a leader in your school. It's your classroom. It's your teacher. Your teacher sets the rules. Well, there's somebody that sets the rules for all of us because we live in a city, and that person is called a mayor. They're a community leader. They work in the government, and their job is to make sure that we have rules that we abide by so that when we're living, people aren't breaking them. Everybody has a comfortable life, and they're trying to make things better for us each and every day. So we're going to be talking about the mayor. The mayor is the leader of our city, and they make important decisions. What are some of the important decisions? Well, they make decisions about people that are homeless. They make decisions about the laws that we have for our city, for things that we can do, things that will help keep people protected. Right now, we're in a coronavirus situation, and the mayor of our city, Mayor Garcetti, his job is to make rules and decisions about whether we can go outside, whether we can go to the stores, whether we can go to the beaches. And his job is to protect all of us. And so he has a very important job. So we're going to talk a lot about that today. Sometimes the mayor, when you see them, they're on TV. Sometimes you see them in the newspaper. If you're on social media, sometimes the mayor may pop up because they have a social media channel just for the mayor. The main job about the mayor is they're going to get information out that is supposed to help us. So I encourage you to get ready today because we're going to talk about the mayor, some of their responsibilities, and why they're important. All right, so let's turn to page 45. I'm sorry about that. Now, at the beginning of your book, or the front of your book, you see this community map. It's there to show you all the different locations that people work in. So if you see the restaurant, you think about the server. You see the bakery, you think about the baker. The fire department, the fireman, or the police officer. You see the police officers. You think about those things. Well, for a mayor, they work in the city hall. And Mr. Hunter, I live near City Hall in downtown Los Angeles. So you guys may not live specifically near the City Hall, but the mayor of LA, his office is not too far from where I live. And it's a big, tall building, but that's where they go to make a lot of the rules and a lot of important decisions. Now, there's a flag at the top of City Hall. It represents the United States. So that flag is to let you know that this is a government building. This is a building that is under the rule and the laws that govern the entire state, and the entire country, not just the state. So that's something that you can identify by. All right. So let's look at page 45. And we got a few things to go through today. We'll try to get through them pretty quickly. All right. On page 45, it says the mayor and other leaders. God is the ruler of everything. So we start right there. We have leaders, but God is the ruler of everyone. All right. But he has given some people the responsibilities to be leaders in smaller areas. So although we follow God, there's also leaders who have a responsibility because God wants to give that to them to see if they can help make wise decisions for everyone underneath his rule. The leader of a town or a city is called a mayor. The mayor's office is where? It's in the city hall, and that's usually in the downtown area, wherever you live. All right. Now, how do people become the mayor? Well, we vote. People vote to decide which person will be their mayor. All right. You guys remember voting, right? Remember we voted for our student counselors, our student advisor, the board. They make the rules about what type of snacks we're going to have on Fun Friday treats or things of that nature. Well, this is the same way, except it's a little bit more involved than just snacks. Okay. The mayor gives speeches to explain how he thinks things should be done in a town or a city. So if you pick a mayor that doesn't have really good character, that doesn't make wise choices, is that going to be good for you, Jeremiah? Sam, if you pick somebody that's not a nice person, is that going to be a good thing? Dylan, Eliana, do you guys agree? Yeah, if you don't pick a wise person or somebody that's called by God and has wisdom, it's not going to be a very good situation. All right. Now, here's what we talk about. Citizens. Everybody say citizens. All right. Citizens are people who live in the community. So you and I, we are citizens who live in the city of Los Angeles. Or some of you live in Torrance or Gardena, some different places. So I know, not just LA, but LA County. All right. Now, you have to choose leaders. If you're a citizen, you have to choose them by voting for the people that you want to be in charge. So if I want somebody else to be in charge, all I have to do is vote for that person. But I have to hope that everybody else wants to vote for that person too. So usually there's two people that you want to vote for, and there's a choice. So some people can vote for this person, some people can vote for that person. If we had student council in our class and Eliana and Sam were running for it, Dylan, Jeremiah, and I would have to vote Who do we want to lead? Do we want Eliana? Do we want Sam? And you know how we make that decision? Well, the people that are getting voted for, they have to make a plea. They have to go out and tell you why they're a good person to be voted for. So Sam could say, you should vote for me because I'll get everybody Dog Man books. And Eliana says, no, I'll get you pizza on every day, not just Thursday. And then Jeremiah, Dylan, and I will have to decide, who's going to be the best one to vote for? And that's usually how it happens. But again, on a larger scale, they do things a little bit differently. All right. People who get the most votes, they're elected to the office. And most cities elect the mayor to make and keep the laws. Now, rules, why do we need rules? Well, they help people get along with one another, and they want to make sure that everybody's treated fairly. And then the community helpers like the mayor, they serve the people in the community. So if you work in an office for the government, your job is to make sure that the people that live in your area feel good, have good things going, good rules to follow, and are protected. That is your number one job. Your job right now as a student is just to go to school and listen and learn. But a community helper who works in the government, their job is to make sure that everything works fine, even good schools for you. Now, community helpers help the community, like I said. There are taxes that when you grow to get older, you guys are going to get introduced to, that they help to pay the community workers, like the mayor, the firefighters, the police officers, and the nation. They help leaders. The nation elects leaders to help govern the entire country. Washington, D.C. Is that an important place? It is. It's where they make a lot of rules. They make rules that even the governor and the mayor of California have to follow. And that is place, it is the capital of the United States. And we'll talk more about that in a second. Now, what kind of person should you choose to be a mayor? Should that person have good character? Should that person be honest? Does that person have to be black or white? No, it doesn't mean that, but honesty is very important, integrity. And sometimes if they have a faith and belief in God, it's good to vote for them too. So those are some things you should think about when you're voting for somebody. You shouldn't vote for them just because they're popular. You shouldn't vote for them. You should make sure that what you're voting for is something that you feel comfortable with and that God would be pleased with. All right. Maybe God wants you to be one of those leaders. How many of you guys ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about maybe I could be president one day? Maybe I could be the mayor. Maybe I could be the governor. It's true. All of you can do it. So maybe you guys can think about that. Maybe that's something that you can do one day. All right. Let's turn the page. All right. Page 46. It says the president is the leader of our country. How many of you guys knew that? All right. The governor is the leader of your state. So you have the president, and then the governor is the leader of your state. And then the mayor, he's the leader of your city or town. All right. Remember that a community is a place where people live, they work, and they play. And our community is very small in relation to our state, our country, and the world as a whole. So we live in Gardena and Torrance and LA, but then LA, Gardena, Torrance, they're all in a county called LA County. And then LA County is in the state of California. And then California is in the United States. Do you guys understand? Everything keeps getting bigger and bigger. All right. Now, when you look at this map, we use the map to help us see what it looks like in the country. All of these stars that you see, these black lines, all these lines, they actually divide the states. So can you find California? Do you see where we are? California is a big state. And do you see that star that's in the middle of California? That is the capital. That is where they make all the rules for the state. So our mayor lives in LA, and he works at the city hall in downtown. But the governor of the entire state, he's up in the capital of California. Anybody know? Eliana, you go there a lot for your holidays. It starts with an S. Sacramento. Yes, Sacramento. So that's where the capital is, and that's where our governor lives. The nation's capital, if you look all the way on your map, the nation's capital is all the way on the other side, Washington, D.C. And you see how there's a star there? Well, that star for the capital is actually circled. So that lets you know that this is the nation's capital. It's the number one capital out of all the states in the United States. So all of these states have a star. All of them show you where their capital is. But there's only one star that has a circle around it, and that's Washington, D.C. All right, looking at page 47, I want to ask you a question. Who is the leader of the United States? The president. Okay, you guys got that. Now, who is the leader of our state? Is it the mayor or is it the governor? Remember, look at our star. The star represents where the governor lives. So the governor is the leader of our state. Now, who is the leader of our city? The mayor. So you have the president for the whole country. For our state, you have the governor. And for our city, you have the mayor. All right. So there are a lot of laws that we have to follow, and they really come from up above. They come from the city, the state, the government. All right. Let's turn the page. You guys can look more at the map if you'd like to, but that's how we divided up. The lines divided up to show you where the states are, the little stars. That's to show you the capitals. All right. Now let's turn the page. We're on page 48 now. Okay. We're looking at all of this. It says the mayor is the leader in our community. Our mayor is, does anybody know who our mayor is? Do you guys know who our mayor is? All right. Sorry, I think my screen froze there. So our mayor, his name is Mayor Garcetti. His name is Eric Garcetti. Everybody say Eric Garcetti. He's been in politics a long time. Politics are what we call when you're running the government and working behind the scenes. He has family. His dad was the mayor of LA. So Eric Garcetti is our mayor. Now, the governor of our state. Who is the governor of California? All right. Everybody say Jerry Brown. Governor Jerry Brown has been the governor of California for a long time now. All right. Long time. So Jerry Brown. And now the president is the leader of our nation. Do we all know who the president is? I think you know his name is pretty, I would say it's well known. I wouldn't say it's popular, but it's well known. His name is Donald Trump. Okay. So those are the three leaders that we have currently in place. Now, let's look at the bottom. It says ways to be a good citizen. I know you guys already know this, but let's talk about it. Ways to be a good citizen. Number one, don't litter. All right. Put trash in its proper place. How many of you guys know that? You guys pick up after lunch and pick up the things. Mr. Guerrero says that you pick up the floor, the trash on the floor in our classroom. So you know how to do that. Number two, obey traffic signs and laws. Cross the street at the crosswalk. That's pretty simple too, right? You guys have done that before, pretty easy, no issues there. So, okay, we got that. Number three, be kind to your neighbors. How many of you guys are kind to your neighbors? And not just neighbors at home, your neighbors that you sit next to in classes, your neighbors that you would sit next to at an amusement park or while you're in line, your neighbors, anybody that's next to you or close to you, how many are nice to them? You're kind. I think we don't have an issue there. Number four, be polite and obey the leaders over you. So does that say right there, be polite only to the people you like? No. Does it say be polite only to the people? Well, if you didn't vote for somebody and they win, are you supposed to be mean to them? No. It says be polite and obey the leaders over you. Okay. And then number five, show respect to your country's flag. You guys know about this. When we're having the flag, we're doing our morning routine at school. We do not let the flag touch the ground. We don't wave it around. We don't play with it. It is not a toy. We have to show respect to it. Okay. Because so many people gave their lives so that we could have freedom. All right. Now, I'm going to say one more thing. There are different types of government officials. So many people. So we have the mayor, we have the governor, we have the president, but there's different types of people that work in the government too. And we're going to talk a little bit about that when I talk to you guys in class tomorrow. And although some people, they become great leaders in government, everybody say everyone. Everyone can be a good citizen. So you don't have to be president. You don't have to be mayor. You don't have to be a governor, but you can be a good citizen. And if you're a good citizen, you help to make everything a lot better. All right. How can you be a good citizen? We just talked about that. And guess what? If you want a flag, maybe you can get a little small flag you put in your room. Maybe your parents have a flag outside their house. But whatever it is, you can have a flag that says, hey, I'm going to be a good citizen. I'm going to represent my country. And I like the way that feels when I say that. All right. Here's one poem I want to share with you guys before we end today's lesson. All right. This poem is called The Leader. Everybody say The Leader. All right. It said, I'd like to be a leader when I get big and tall, like the president of our country or the mayor in City Hall. But first I must learn to take orders and do what my parents say, because who will want to follow me if I haven't learned to obey? Guys, you know why people can be leaders? It's because they follow the rules most of the time. All right. So you don't get ahead by doing wrong. You don't get ahead by cheating or lying. You get ahead by really, really paying attention and telling the truth. And if you obey and do what you're supposed to at a small level, God will see that. He will say, hey, she did good on this part. Let's get more. It's like responsibility. When you guys do good in class, you get more freedom. You get more opportunity. When you're behaving in class, you get extra recess. But what happens when you don't behave in class? Usually you get 5 on the bench, 10 on the bench, or you get no recess. You have to sit. And you don't like how that feels, right? It's the same thing in responsibility with your job and work. When you do good at this level, then you get to go to the next level. When you do good at this level, then you get to go to the next level. And if you keep doing good, guess what? There's more levels for you to go. And God wants to keep blessing you as you keep growing up all these levels. So you're in first grade now, keep doing good at this level, and then you did good at this level. Next year, you're going to go to this level, which is second grade. And it's going to be more responsibility. But guess what? When you do good at that level, then you keep going up. And I can't wait to see. Some of you guys may actually work in government. You may be a mayor. You may be a president. You may be a governor. Whatever the case is, I know that you guys have the ability to do it. This has been a fun lesson, a really good lesson. I'm going to put a video in there to tell you a little bit more about the mayor, the president, and the governor. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.